September 13th, 2024. Boss man and friends are out doing an inspection on a gigantic down buoy chain, which is just a big buoy that bounces, and it has 3 chains, big, like 1.5 foot long chain links that go all the way down like 200 feet to the ocean floor and then extend out like a 1/4 mile each to anchor points so that the buoy doesn't drift. Just checking on the condition of the links and checking out the critters. When we come over a hill and cruise casually over an octopus, and you can tell it's an octopus because there's this little shimmer right on where his eye would be, right on the top of his head. You can see it. I'll slow the video down and you'll see just this little shimmer, and it's all bunched up. You can see the tentacles kind of. He's orange. It's a Pacific octopus, I'm fairly certain. I'm not a biologist. I just like the critters. At this point, you can see off in the foggy distance what appears to be a forest of these tall, white, spined, bony looking stalks just wafted in the current with what appears to be like a backing plate on one side and little twigs and arms coming out on the other half. And after several hours of researching real life lore, I've discovered that these are called tall sea pins, or I am the first person on YouTube to say this out loud. I could not find a video of anyone else trying to say this word, so Funiculina quadrangulus. Funiculina quadrangulus. Funiculina quadrangulus? I like F quadrangulus. Otherwise known as a sea pin. These strange creatures are described as feather-like, more like a feathered quill sticking out of the seabed. They're anchored by a fancy word for a stalk, a penduncle, which is just a fancy botanical word for stalk, like a single stalk, which I'm imagining is also a polyp, because like most of these sea pins, according to my research, the center one is usually a polyp and the rest are polyps coming off of it. They have a calcareous it's made of calcium axial rod growing upwards, with the polyps coming out from it, with each polyp having 8 tentacles each. They can grow up to 2 meters tall, which is about 6.5 feet for Americans. I'm American. And they can be found globally, mostly in sea lochs in Scotland and on the Scottish northeast coast. However, the abundance of the species is low due to bottom trawling. However, we don't have to worry about our little patch here being bothered by the trawlers. For this is what happens when a drag net drags its net over a big fat chain like this underground. It's not underground, it's underwater. But as you can see, it does drag back and forth and make a little 6 foot wide path through them. So, you know, it's a give and take. You get this nice protection of not getting your little forest destroyed, but you gotta deal with that chain. These freaky little bits of skeleton-looking things actually offer killer protection for fish larvae and are home to several crustaceans, which hasn't been scientifically confirmed according to the University of Oxford. So, whatever. They only think that because cod, shrimp, and lobsters in Norwegian fisheries are found in the bycatch of trawlers that fish for those things, so they just assume a relationship is present. I love these critters because they are not plants. They are animals, but invertebrates, more like a jellyfish or a coral. They're not really plants or animals. They're their own little thing, and each one is its own individual polyp with a job, whether that be, check my notes, feeding, fucking, and fighting the water current by pumping water. In conclusion, I like them. They're cool. Thanks for watching.